madada. Mama zile iko sexy, ala to tayari kuienda traki nasi mabeste mkoa mko freshi to tayari kuienda traki nasi kidogo kai kamata wako kamata wako nipe maiki maji na mafuta kibiriti nipate kuwachemsha kikamili tupate kuwaamsha ili na maiki tupate kuwachoma kisha wapate kucheza hizo ngoma kwa sababu kila mtu yajua kuna traki ambayo inagonga kama traki ya ogopa basi weka mkono kwenye kiuno na usawanishe sawa na mdundo peleka nyuma rudisha mbele sote tupige makelele mama zile iko sexy ala iko tayari kuienda traki nasi mabeste mkoa mko freshi iko tayari kuienda traki nasi kila mtu sema kamata wako
Kila mtu kuna wake.
Tuko.
Can I sit down?
Yes, please have a seat. Thank
you.
you so much for joining us.
Asante.
As I said earlier, I got into trouble a lot growing up because of Mr. Lenny and Nameless, yeah?
Wow.
Because the obsession, especially amenipa juju. Unaanza kuimba wakaanza, wewe unafanya witchcraft.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And I'm not saying this because I'm saying you're old.
Yes,
no.
yes.
It's just speaking on the impact that you
Yes.
had on us, especially growing up. We're like, yes,
Wow.
he's a lyrical genius. And the song, you know,
It flows.
we were used to rapping. It's gengetone, it's rapping. And then you come in and you're just singing and it was beautiful. Thank you very much.
Asante. I feel honored to be here and I'm happy I made some sort of impact, you know, and a lot of people, especially our age mates, you know, who grew up with us. And surprisingly, like I've been, you know, like talking to some very young guys. Like the other day I just posted something and I asked them like, where were you when I released this particular song? And some people were like, I was in class 1. Class 2. And I'm like, what?
Yes.
Kumbe sini wa baba sahi.
You know, but he doesn't look it. That's the thing. You've noticed, like, we even had, I think, Ken Razy on the show the other day.
Yeah.
It's like all of that. There's an age where you guys just stopped.
Y'all are not aging.
So you
give us the
Juakali looks the same. Look at Nameless, looks the same. What are the concoctions that you guys were koroga in the studio? We want to know. Share the tea.
There's not much science to it. It's just basically just eating well, watching what you eat basically, drinking a lot of water, doing a little bit of exercise, very important. Walk, if you can, jog, very important, especially for people like us who are artists. It's important to, you know, just try and do some sort of exercise. Yeah, and you don't even have to even go out. You can even do it in your house. Yeah, there's so many exercises that you can do in your house and you'll be fit. Yeah, and basically watch what you eat. Because a lot of times, most of us, it all has to do with our diet. Yes, and believe me, when you eat well, you might not even need to go to any gym. Yeah. Utakuwa na mwili sawa na utakuwa tu unatesa huko nje.
I love it. It always thinks about that. Kula fiti, jenga mwili, utaishi fiti. Maisha yatasukuma.
Anyway, that was Longombas.
That was Longombas.
Yes.
But I think the thing that I've also really appreciated, and I would like to know the impact of that in your life, is you are very, very on time. Like you came back, I was shocked. You know, I'm saying, wow, he's here on time. And you don't see this kind of discipline with a lot of artists, especially with legends like yourself. Because there's that, I am who I am. Y'all need to wait for me. You know, I'm a superstar. You know, what are you going to do without me? But you are so prudent when it comes to your time. And I would like to know that discipline, because you've also mentioned you're very disciplined with your diet. You're disciplined with how you, making sure that the stuff that's going into your body is good for you. And obviously your skin, my God, his skin is glowing, guys.
More tips.
Jesus Christ. What?
Magic.
You woke up like this. Wow. Team Natural. Love it. But I actually come from being in the industry, or were you just disciplined from the very beginning? And what was that impact of being disciplined with your craft, with your health, with your life? What was that impact in the industry then and even now? What difference does it make?
Well, it makes all the difference. When you have discipline, it's easy for you to get along, to succeed in a lot of things. And actually, I'm a very bad timekeeper.
Really?
Yeah, but what I do, because I know I'm not a very good timekeeper, even if you check my watch right now, it's like 10 minutes ahead. So I always, even in the clock in my house, it's 10 minutes ahead. So that if I wake up, even when I set an alarm, if I'm supposed to wake up, let's say at 5:30, my watch is gonna be, it's waking me up, early, 10 minutes early. By the time I wake up, because I am very slow wake, I don't like waking up early.
Take your time.
I take my time before I get out of that bed. I have to drag myself, try to, najinyorosha kidogo, and then I wake up. So so that has helped me always be on time. Otherwise, I'll always be late. Yeah, I'm a very bad timekeeper, but I specifically and just do it like I make sure my watch is 10 minutes ahead. So that will always keep me away
bit
from
of leeway.
Yes, exactly.
It's making an
so,
effort.
I
so
should
basically
probably take that note.
it has worked for me in everything, like especially like now, for artists, sometimes you're told show it ends 11 or midnight. So you need to prepare like an hour before or two, depending on where you're coming from, to get there. Yeah, so sometimes you find yourself dragging yourself, doing some funny things, and before you know it, it's already time. Yeah, so unaanza kurush nini, you're late. Yeah. So and of course, kuna wale pia there's that superstar mentality, but I've never let that get into my way.
I love that.
Yeah, because we are all human beings, and being an artist is not just a hobby. It is also a career, and it's also a business for me. So I have to take it very seriously when I'm doing
relationships you make.
Exactly. So I try as much as possible. If somebody wants us to meet, I try and be there on time. If they say someone who wants us to strike a deal, I be there on time. If I'm supposed to release something on time, I make sure I'm on time. Every time. It's not easy, by the way.
It really
it's not easy, especially for us artists. Yeah.
And looking back, I think for the longest time we knew you as the king of collabos.
Oh.
You were always collaborating with somebody. It's Isa, it's Nameless.
Yes.
It's also the
Indigenous,
late
Kunguru.
Exactly.
Yes.
You were always collaborating with somebody.
Yeah.
And then you recently made the move to go solo. So
Yes.
what inspired that?
Going solo?
Yeah.
Well, I've always had pressure from my fans to have my own music as opposed to collaborating with others. So everywhere I go, guys are like, hey, Mr. Lenny, tupatie song, sasa yako mwenyewe. And in fact, I remember the time I did Cash Money. Cash Money was like,
I need some cash
Yes.
money. Minnesota, can you feel me?
Mina taka pesa. Hey, you guys can
Start a
sing.
band.
Those songs in a blend. I love it.
Mr. Lenny and
Yes,
others.
yes.
You're still exclusive.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, so guys were, like, hey, maze, please give us, tupatie yako moja tusikie. So I was in a lot of pressure to give my fans some of my solo projects, and that's exactly what I did. So Cash Money was like one of the songs.
Randa.
I was Randa. There's Leo. Which other song? There's Helena.
Yes, Helena.
There's another. Okay, the other one I did a collab, but I'm the one who featured Big Pin. There's a song we did called Kwanini. Yes, and many others. So there's always that pressure. Even not just that, because also, when you collaborate with people, especially when you do songs with great artists, bigger artists than you, most of the times they end up getting
The gigs.
the gigs,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
So you are left out. Yes, and yet
You were part of
you're
the
part of
song.
the projects and part of the songs, and actually made a very big impact in them. So that is one of the reasons why actually I had to start now thinking about
solo
myself.
artist.
Yeah, because I needed to be out there also by myself and start.
Like you need to stand alone. You need to
Yes.
be your brand
Exactly,
on your own,
on
not
your
in
own.
collaboration with all these
which
other
is not
people.
easy.
It's not.
I must say it proved a challenge, but I've tried my best, and I must say it worked out very well.
Wait, now I'm curious
Yes.
about that challenge part, because like, what challenges are these that you faced when you tried to go solo?
Oh my goodness! When you're solo. Let me give you an example. Like now, let's say if you talk about people like Sauti Sol. This is a band consisting of four
people, yeah.
individuals, right? And when you're many, it's easy to come up with ideas, easy to solve a problem. But when you're solo,
safer.
but when you're solo, everything falls on you.
Falls on you.
Yeah, if you did something wrong, you will pay for it by yourself. If you did something right, again, you enjoy it.
celebrate it.
Yes. So there are pros and cons of being solo, but I believe it's better when you're solo. When you start enjoying, the proceeds. Now you begin to see
The benefit.
the benefits.
Solo.
Yes,
Yeah.
because like imagine 4 people, for them to let's say if they're getting paid for a certain gig, these monies they have to share
Split it 4 ways.
amongst themselves. So that means they have to also have very serious good songs and very good show performances on stage, so that they can put their pay quite high, so that they are able to make something
The
out of it.
proceeds are quantifiable.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
because you can imagine, like let's say Diamond. Diamond is a solo artist. Well, he's collaborated with so many other artists, but when he's paid,
It's paid at
he's
Diamond
He
only.
should
yes,
sing.
as Diamond only. He has dancers and all that, but because of his showmanship, he's able to be paid good money. So probably you'd find Diamond and Sauti Sol, probably they're even making the same amount of money.
But when it comes
But
down
now
to
when
it,
it comes to sharing, it becomes a problem. And let me tell you, money brings a lot
money
of problems.
changes people.
So in fact, you have to big up people like Sauti Sol for actually being able to
Staying together for this
staying
long.
together for long. Because personally, I was in a group, I was in a duo. Yeah, and that's another long story. But I was in a duo, and it proved very difficult when I was starting, and that's why I had to end up being solo. And it worked out. Yeah.
There's something about that, even as you mentioned it,
Yes.
that new age, because like you look at songs like Kwanini, and I was watching the video, and
Yes.
in my mind I'm just cracking up because I'm like, wow, this is such an interesting, refreshing take on, if you look at what was happening back then and what is
Yes.
happening now.
Yes.
And so obviously then it goes into the question of
Yeah.
what differences have you had? You've been an artist for a very long time.
Yeah, almost 20
There's
years now.
significantly huge differences between back then and
Now.
right now.
Yes.
And so what are some of those things that are like, what? This is insane. What are those huge differences that you've personally seen?
Wow. To begin with, social media. Social media is something else.
It's wild.
Yes, especially for us who started when there was no social media. I mean, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, there was no Twitter, all those things. So when they started coming in, even for us, we were caught unawares because, we didn't know we didn't know how it was going to pan out in the future. So in fact, most of us sort of just ignored it, not knowing that this is actually going to be
It's coming and going.
not knowing that this is actually the future. Yeah, so and that has really made a lot of artists not being able to go to the next level because we are not able to embrace
You're
it.
stuck in your ways.
Because if you look at the artists who are now, this generation of now, they're doing so well because of the use of social media. If you know how to use social media right now, even if you're an older artist, you can you know, like transform your life. Yeah, because things have really changed.
Yeah.
Them days we used to do sales like physical
CDs.
CDs and tapes, then VCDs, you know, all that.
Tips.
Yes.
Then we went to MP3.
Exactly. MP3, yeah.
Player. Someone with like a Walkman.
Exactly. Yeah. And now those things are no longer, you know, being used.
Yeah.
So now we're doing streams. Like we are doing iTunes, Spotify
and so on.
and the likes. So you have to evolve with time, and it's not easy because just like with the phones, I mean, when we started, we didn't have phones, by the way.
Sure.
When I started singing, there were no phones. And slowly, you know, we began to, you know, the technology came and we started owning phones. And now, the same phones that we're using just for communication, the same phones are now being used for content.
Recording and all.
Yes. You can actually even do a video with a phone. Yeah, there are so many artists who've done that, and they're actually very
They're
successful.
doing very well.
Yeah, so there's so many challenges, but there's so many positives also.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that.
There's something Jokali said, I think, a week ago when he we were speaking about piracy.
Yes.
And according to him, he said,
Piracy worked for you
he
guys.
Yeah.
says piracy
Absolutely.
was the thing.
Yes.
And obviously, we're looking at you like, you're losing money. What do you mean piracy?
People are making money off of
People are
you.
making money off of your
Yeah.
hard work.
But
How does that work? Explain that to us.
It's very simple. If I release a song right now, and I'm in the studio, and let's say I have a bunch of people in the studio, and they are the only people who are listening to this music, and then once they leave that studio, nobody else gets to listen to this music. So how will the other people from outside know about that music? So that's the you know, the idea behind it. What happened is that, yes, they were stealing from us.
Yes.
It is pure stealing.
It is theft.
Yeah, stealing is stealing. It doesn't matter how nice you put it. But the positive bit about it is that our music was now getting distributed to as far as Tanzania, you know, Uganda, and it crossed over. Just the other day, I just found out that people love my music in Israel.
Wow. Israel.
So that's how it went there.
Yes.
So
It's
you
still
look at
piracy.
it as a marketing fund. The
Yes.
money lost is a marketing budget.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So your music is distributed without even your knowledge.
Your knowledge.
But yes, you're not making money out of the sales because the pirates are the ones who are making the money.
True.
But at the same time, your name is building. So by that, you're able to go to places that you never even thought of. I mean, by the time I was going to the States for the first time with Nameless and Wahoo, people didn't know who Mr. Lenny was. They had no clue. Like they didn't know in person. So, but now, when the minute I enter stage, because they didn't know, they knew the music,
But they didn't
but
know.
didn't know
They've
the
never
person
seen like your
behind it.
face. Like you can't
Yes.
place the music with the person.
Exactly. So I would sing song after song, and we're like, hey, you sang,
It was
sang,
you.
hey. Once I remember when I did Cash Money, the first time walianza tu kunitumia madola kwa stage. So I'm torn between kuokota na kuendelea na show. Yeah, and from then onwards, every town, every city we went to, everywhere.
Same
They would just,
experience.
every time I would sing Cash Money, guys would just, others would come and, anasetika so hapo.
Wow.
In dollars, eh?
In That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that is the effect that piracy had on our music.
Okay.
Yeah, so our music indirectly got distributed by pirates. So that is how we gained from it.
Damn, okay.
And
Yes.
speaking of that time when people, you're a household name, everybody knows you.
Yeah.
You are getting us into trouble. Your impact was huge.
Yeah.
And then you dipped.
Yeah.
Like, where are
Where is
you?
Mr.
I know.
You know.
Yeah.
And then now you made a comeback.
Yeah.
But where did you go to?
Oh my goodness, long stories. Basically, I started a family. Yeah, I got some children and a wife. And then now I felt like maybe I need to take a seat back, and focus on raising a family, which actually was a mistake. if I now that I
now
look
that
at
you
it,
look back,
yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But I was of the idea that, you know, I need to give my all to my
priorities change.
exactly.
Yes.
And so I even changed my career from music to business, as in I started doing events and organizing and planning. And it was very difficult because, you know, when you're trying to start something, it takes time.
Startups are hard.
And especially businesses, they are very hard to do. It takes time, and it depends on what kind of business you're doing. Yeah, so I tried different types of businesses. I started with events, then I went to selling gas, and I tried all sorts of things, and it was crazy. Yeah, and then again, I think I felt maybe, you know, music, you know the way music is. Like you can see now the way things are, the way there's a lot of controversies and so much
Kiki, a lot of
kiki and all that stuff. In our time, those things were not there, and you couldn't even try
There's
such.
talent.
Yes. If you try that, you just drop. Yeah, so that was the reason why I decided to go into business. And I really tried my best, but it was not working. And I tried for quite a while. And that's the mistake, because, you know, when you take such a long break from music,
People forget.
People forget. Kwanza Kenyans forget very
Kenyans
fast.
very fast.
Yeah. And then also, time moves very fast, and the generation changes also.
does.
You see? So now, the people that you used to entertain are now my babas and our mamas. And now the priorities have
crowd,
changed.
yeah.
They no longer go to the clubs. And even if they do, wanaingia sasa, you know, those
10 o'clock, yeah, natoka saa sita, hey, napata club.
and then don't go to the clubs that you used
They
to
don't go
perform
to the clubs.
They go to their, you know, like their
The
locals,
locals.
or some places where, you know, chilled out, nini, hakuna kelele. So a lot of things change, and you find yourself now, like, basically right now, because actually right now I'm back to music, and I'm actually working on my new album. But I feel like I'm starting over all over again.
Yes.
Like I'm an upcoming artist right now. Yeah.
You're learning again.
Yes. There's so much to learn, and I have to put in so much work, because also this music is now also has evolved and it has changed. So there's a lot of work to be done.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
so
true.
basically that's the reason why I had to take a break. Yeah.
But do not worry, we are ready. We're ready for
we are
Mr. Lenny
so
2.0.
Oh,
We're there for the events and streaming
Oh my
and
goodness.
everything. Yeah, you
Man.
had impact, and we're still here.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that is a very positive thing you've just said, because right now I need all the energy, positive energy I can get, and support from everyone as much as possible.
When's the new album dropping?
Hopefully in the beginning of October. Hopefully.
What's the title? Give us something.
Give us the tea. Give us
I
the tea.
can't give you anything right now.
Gosh. Not even one song title?
No, I can't,
Wow.
because we're still in that stage of. 'Cause
Development.
yes, I've already recorded a couple of songs, and you know you have to do a lot of songs. Then you choose. You have to choose, and you know, try and see which one is going to work, which is not going to work.
Who's gonna make the cut?
Yes. So there's so much to do before you release a song or an album, and that's why I can't give you any info as of now. But I'll be back when the album is ready. I'll be back here.
Are
Okay.
welcome.
Yes, and I'll show you.
Can we
now
ask
the
for
work.
exclusive launch here?
That would be nice.
Well,
Best you could say is no.
Think about it.
I'd love that.
As you're
Yeah.
counting down.
And well,
That's the number
I
one.
have a team.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, before we never used to have teams, but now, right now, I have a team, and they have people who, you know, make decisions.
Yeah.
So we have to sit down and decide. The other ones will sit down and decide. My work is to